Greetings and welcome to the Power Gamer Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Dawson, joined as always by fellow hosts Johnny Paulus and Kim Ponticello. Guys, last week we did an episode.
We did. I promise we did.
We sure did. And Comcast took an absolute nosedive of a shit kind of towards the end of it. And there is no saving the puddle of fucking crud that I was left with after Riverside tried to stitch it together into usable audio and video. I mean, it tried. It was a valiant effort. Shout out to Riverside. I love this program. It makes my life so much easier. But yeah. So lost episode number 2. You will never hear it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sorry to you guys for the work that goes into an episode like that. I mean, it's a lot of our time that just kind of gets flushed, but it
yeah,
does
but we have
happen.
fun talking anyway.
It does happen every now and again though. So I don't know if there was anything in particular before we get rolling here.
Oh.
Well done.
I went to put lip gloss on. I put it on my chin instead.
Yeah. That's motivation for our audio listeners to check out the YouTube channel this week. You can almost immediately watch Kim stab herself in the face with her
gracefully apply lip gloss to her chin.
So graceful.
Was there anything from last week you guys wanted to touch on? Kim, I know you in particular. You played a lot of demos, and I don't care how much time we need here to get through this correctly. But was there any that you wanted to shout out, or Johnny, anything that you wanted to shout out from last week, just so it doesn't go without being said as we move into a new episode this week?
Sure.
Oh, go ahead, Johnny. You go first.
Okay, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you go. No,
so just obviously nobody heard it, so I guess we'll tell everybody what the episode was. Kim and I went on an absolute demolition through the Steam Next Fest. So Steam Next Fest is when they unleash a shit ton of demos for upcoming games, works in progress, alphas, all kinds of cool stuff all over Steam. And Kim and I both made lists of ones that we wanted to play. We played a ton of them, and then we recorded an 1.5-hour episode that will never be heard by anyone. So, yeah, I mean, I think we both had a couple that, rather than go through the whole list and eat up a whole episode, I did want to kind of give a quick little shout out to the ones that I enjoyed or wanted to call out for some specific reason. One of them is a game called I Am Your Beast. It's a first-person shooter game that kind of reminded me of Neon White in the way that it was kind of like a speedrunner timed run. Each level was 2 minutes, 3 minutes tops. And it's very, very skill-based, very headshot is an instant death. And so it's kind of fun to just keep practicing of all right, if I slide here and then I turn, I can headshot, jump on that tree branch, headshot that guy, and then jump to the end of the level. Boom, I beat the level in 28 seconds and I got the S rating. Cool, let's go on to the next one. I don't know if this is a day one purchase for me, but the art style was very cool. And yeah, you should check out the demo. Just go on Steam and search I Am Your Beast. Another one that I enjoyed quite a bit, I liked the concept, but then was this isn't a game that I really see myself playing, but I did want to shout it out because I think it's going to be successful when it actually comes out, because it is sort of a unique concept in an online shooter genre that's not really oversaturated yet, which is the Tarkov sort of meta. And this is for a game called Level Zero Extraction. So if you take Escape from Tarkov, which is a concept where before you launch into your online PvP game, you have your own inventory of things you've amassed from previous runs, and you choose what you want to bring with you. All right, I'm going to bring 2 health packs, this gun, some extra ammo, and this piece of armor. And then in the actual game, once you load in, it's like a powered down spaceship. All the lights are off. It's really dark and really creepy. And there are these creepy zombie-like aliens that are hidden around the ship, a la maybe Dead Space kind of. But what's interesting is you're creeping around the ship and you're looting everything that you can. But in that same ship are other players in a PvP environment. So not only are you worried about the aliens, You're worried about the other people. So anybody that you kill in that instance and you raid their body and loot everything that they picked up and then manage to escape successfully with your life, all of those items you get to keep for your next run. So theoretically, if you had a successful one, your next run, you're going to have a better gun or that piece of armor that you got off somebody. So kind of that same high risk, high reward thing that Tarkov has, but in a sci-fi environment. But the thing I liked about it is that the levels are much smaller. The one thing that always kind of bothered me with Escape from Tarkov is the levels are so big that a lot of times it would turn into 45 minutes of, I went here, I got all that stuff. I went here, I managed to kill those two guys and barely survived. And then I went here and I looted this guy. And then this guy picked me off just out of the spawn point and I lost it all and basically wasted 45 minutes of my life. I liked the fact that level 0 extraction is the same concept, but much smaller levels. My favorite of all the games I played for Next Fest, this will be probably a day one purchase for me. Any frequent listeners of Power Gamer Podcast knows I'm a big fan of the XCOM style turn-based tactics games. And there is a game coming out, I think this year, called Metal Slug Tactics. So it has that same art style as Metal Slug, the kind of over-exaggerated cartoony war style. But I really, really, really liked this one a lot. It is your basic, if you've ever played Final Fantasy Tactics or any of those things where move this player here, do that spell, move here, call in the airstrike for those guys, that kind of thing. But this was my favorite of the bunch. I'll be buying it day one. And then another one that I liked is a game called The Elder Seed. It's a very basic Unity engine sort of game, but it's a Metroidvania that kind of gave me Zelda vibes a little bit. It's sort of like the kid that is destined for greatness that has to, go save the world. And you start out with a rusty sword and you go meet a blacksmith and he tells you what things he needs to make the sword better. And I think this game has potential. I liked what I saw. I didn't get super far into it because, again, I think I played, 8 or 10 demos, and I know Kim probably played 20 or more. But those were my favorites. Kim, what were your favorites from the Next Fest?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just go through my favorites. And there's one that I want to put especially a little bit of love on.
Okay.
So I played a really cool 2D platformer puzzle game called Kato, Cato. And you're a cat with toast on its back. And the toast can jump left and right. And the cat can walk left and right. But if you put the toast on the cat can then spin up. And so you have to figure out how to get through all of these puzzles by using either the toast or the cat with the toast. And it was really cute and the puzzles were brilliant and I highly recommend it. It was actually pretty fantastic. I played a Souls-like called Inotria, which is an Italian, it's an Italian game. And I felt it was really beautiful. Very Souls-like. The combat was fun in my opinion. Somebody today told me that it felt light, like it didn't have any weight to it. I thought it was great. I really liked the combat a lot. I didn't want to stop playing it. When I look back, because I was like, man, I wish I had a chance to play more demos. I looked at my Steam and I realized I played this game for an hour and a half. I really loved it and I'm very, very excited for it to come out. It's Enotria, and that was amazing. I played a Souls Light called Flintlock, and that was super fun. That's going to be on Game Pass day one. Comes out July 18th, I think. And it was honestly super fun. The jumps and the combat, and that I think is going to be a very, very fun game. Inotria and Flintlock could definitely both use a little bit of optimization, but it may be also because it was demos. But they were both very fantastic, and I loved them both. Let me see. The Altars, amazing. The Altars was so fucking cool. It starts off with you in third person, running on this like sci-fi planet, right? And you get to you find all your pods, and you get to your base, and then when you're in your base and you start building your base, it turns into a colony sim. But then you go out and you go mining. It was just such a cool game. And I found out that it's voiced by, all the voices in that game are Alex Jordan, who I met because I was playing Sherlock Chapter 1. And I got rated by Alex Jordan and he's Sherlock. And so He's also a streamer and he's absolutely amazing. And I found out he did all the voices in the altars, and I thought that was pretty cool. And I highly, highly recommend that one. It was fantastic. Tactical Breach Wizards, turn-based, absolutely fantastic. I love the art style. The dialogue was freaking hysterical. Tiny Glade, super cozy builder. No, there's nothing to do there. Like, there's no objective. You just build, and it's very, very pretty and very, very relaxing. Probably one of the prettiest building games, and very different building. Like, you build a path into a gate, into a wall, and it makes the doorway. And the sounds really made me feel good. I really liked it. Okay, now, on Friday, I played horror games. I did all horror demos. There was 2 of them, actually 3 of them, that I want to mention. The first one is called Horror Tales the Beggar. The developer named Carlos did a game before this called Horror Tales the Wine, and it was spectacular. It was super spooky, atmospheric, had it was and had a really, really fantastic story. Anyway, when I saw that he came out with Horror Tales the Beggar, reached out to him, and he gave me a key. And it is astounding, and he's such a genuinely nice guy. Like, he's put so much love into these games. And The Beggar is pretty cool because it starts out looking like just a sci-fi horror game. And then you get to a point in the game, and it's pretty early on, you get to a point where it's like, okay, well, if you do this, you can actually change the time so that when you're walking, the sun doesn't burn you. So turn it to evening and you won't get, and I was like, excuse me, I can bend time? I was not expecting that. And it's a really cool game, and it's very different. And I just love supporting devs who are so passionate and kind. You know what I mean? Like, he just wants to see people love his game, and I love that so much. That means a lot to me.
This game graphically looks pretty cool for an indie game.
It's pretty cool, yeah. The first game, Horror Tales of Wine, if you like horror games, I think it's only like, it's so cheap on Steam right now. It was so good. It was such a good story. And boy, did I get spooked a few times. Hollow Body. This is a game for Mike. I loved it. It is isometric. They call it a tech noir survival horror short story. And it's very reminiscent of Silent Hill. It's atmospheric and spooky and absolutely fantastic. And I cannot wait for this game to come out. I was so impressed with this demo. It made me so happy. I really liked it a lot. And then the last horror game that I really loved. And when I tell you I fell in love with this game, it's a game called The Devil is in the Details. It's by a developer called Hideworks. They actually came to stream and hung out while I played this. They actually posted one of my clips on their TikTok and made fun of me. Okay, but whatever, we're not going to talk about that. So
that's awesome.
This game, they got inspiration from shows like X Factor and stuff like that, right? As weird as that sounds. So it's a horror game, but it's a memorizing objects game. So you go into this game and there is somebody called the Arbiter, and that's your host, right? And so you press the space bar and you see things that are haunted in the house. And so you have to memorize those things. So a couch with a book, with a bookshelf with books on it, a picture of some dude, another picture of a mountain, right? And so you remember these things. And then when the ritual begins, you have to put talismans on the ones that are different. And then when you're done, you go back to the Arbiter and you say, okay, I'm done. And so you sit there and wait to see if you got it right. And it's like green light, red light, green light. And so you're waiting to see if you got it right. And then it's like, ding, 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 like you got it all right. And so the house gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then there are mannequins, and then there are shadows, and then there are things popping out at you. And it was such a fun game to play because trying to memorize like 20 objects while things are popping out at you was so scary and so fun. And it was such a completely different idea for a game that I've never experienced. And I honestly fell in love with this game. Like, we had so much fun playing it. Everybody in chat was like hysterical watching this because it was truly one of the most brilliant games, one of the most brilliant horror games I've ever played because it's so different. I've never played anything like that. And I highly recommend it if you like horror. I was very impressed. And the
This is
graphics are beautiful
crazy.
and it ran perfectly. Yeah, absolutely amazing. And then finally, there was a game I played off stream called Blueprints, like blue and then like the son of a king, Prince. But it's called Blueprints because you're working with the blueprint of a house, blueprints. And you literally have to, the goal is to get from the foyer to the antechamber by adding rooms. So you go to a door and you get 3 choices of rooms to add, and you can't block yourself in. Sometimes you'll add a room and there'll be a locked door. Sometimes you add a room and you have no choice but to add a room with nowhere to go because you don't have a gem to build that room. I couldn't stop playing. I didn't win. I couldn't do it. It is so good and so different and just really super cool. It was really cool. I also tried the Riven demo, which the remake looks
There
astounding.
for that. Yeah,
The demo, the remake is astounding. It looks beautiful.
Riven is fantastic for
Yeah.
all us
But if you
old
want,
heads.
I was thinking about it. If you want, you could always put because this is a public document. So if you want to put a link on YouTube so people can look at all of the demos, you're more than welcome to.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, I can.
You guys didn't get to listen to Mike making fun of me for my spreadsheet last week.
Kim went hard in the paint.
She did.
By the way, I would actually like to revise what I said before. My favorite of the demos that I played was not in my list.
Oh,
Tactical Breach Wizards.
I knew you would love it.
Kim told me about it last week and was like,
it.
she was like, the moment I played this, I knew it was a Johnny game.
Yep,
And
100%.
she is absolutely right. That game is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I knew that was right up your alley.
It's XCOM if instead of it being a highly trained military team, it's a highly trained military team of wizards. It's
and
awesome.
The dialogue is hysterical.
The dialogue's really funny. The game's great.
Really good game.
I think that's a day one purchase as well for me. I really liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad I thought to make a little time to revisit some of that because, yeah, quite a lot went into last week. And I feel like we kind of got the same vibe and we got it in 15 minutes instead of 90. So I'll take it. Everyone, welcome in. What episode of the show is this even?
This is technically 162 because last week's 162 did not happen.
We don't talk about last week's 162.
Welcome in to episode 162 of your Power Gamer podcast. We do, of course, appreciate your support out there on audio platforms and on YouTube as well. If you haven't already, consider following the show or liking and subscribing on YouTube. Got some stuff to dig into this week. Just kind of some cool things to talk about. It's obviously summertime-ish. It's just about summer. And all of the independent announcement showcases or directs or whatever the hell they're called, the thing that would be a lot cooler if it was still E3, is happening. And we kind of got things started from Sony, their little wet fart of a state of play. And then we got to Jeff Keighley's Summer Games Fest, which was more like Summer Games Snooze Fest. Am I right?
Hey-o. Boom, roasted.
Xbox rolled up their sleeves and said, hang on a second. We're down in the dumps. Everyone is down on us. Let's come out swinging. And to their credit, they showed a lot of nice trailers. And they did a good job.
Agreed.
Nintendo caught whiff of what Microsoft was putting down. And they said, no, Microsoft. Hold on. We're just going to come out of left field with a brand new Zelda game that's coming out this year. And what's the kicker? You play as Zelda.
About time.
Very, very excited for this because it's also going to be in the style of the Link's Awakening remake. Mechanically, however, it's got a little bit of Tears of the Kingdom energy to it.
Agreed.
Johnny, you're shaking your head. You've got a big smile on your face. What is this Zelda game that has been revealed?
Dude, I'm super pumped for the Legend of Link Zelda to the Past. It looks awesome. I got big Link to the Past vibes from this. Even just when they showed the map, I'm like, this looks like Link to the Past, like in a big way. But you're right. The she has a little wand. We all know that Zelda is some sort of magic user, and she can copy items and then remake as many of those as she sees fit. So in the trailer, they show you learn a table, you learn a bed, you learn an enemy, and you can just go, I want to get up there, so let me put a table here and a table there and a table there, and you can jump up and go there. And then in another one, she was able to make a water block, so she just made a big tower column of water and just swam up it to get up to a higher point. I love these old school isometric style Zelda games, and I've also thought for a very, very long time that we need a game where we play as Zelda, because she's always implied as being very powerful and very strong, and like, you know, but we've never been able to play as her. So this, I'm genuinely excited for this, and it came completely out of nowhere. I mean, we had no idea this was coming, much less this year.
Yeah, Zelda is, for those who aren't deep into the Zelda lore, as I am, it's all about the Triforce. The Triforce has 3 pieces: courage, wisdom, and power. Link is courage, Ganon is power, and Zelda is wisdom. And this lends into the name of the game, Echoes of Wisdom. I like in the trailer that they address this head on, that they say, you know, well, with Zelda being the star, does that mean she's going to be fighting with a sword and shield? And the guy says, well, no, Zelda fights with wisdom. So she's going to use that as her weapon. And I'm like, that's fucking dope. I'm in. They get it. They get it.
Yeah.
You know, if it was you running around as Zelda and she's like shooting pew-pews out of a wand, that'd honestly be kind of fucking stupid, because that's not what she's about. She's about using the brain power to overcome of equal merit as Ganon uses force and as Link uses courage. So I'm like, they get it. Of course they get it. But they get it. And we're going to get it on September 26th, though. Very excited for this. For anyone that liked the style of the Link's Awakening remake, which I loved. I mean, Link's Awakening for me was really the first Zelda game that I had that I really played the absolute shit out of. You know, the original green and black Game Boy copy, which I just love that game. Kim, I have not historically known you to be, at least of recent years, a big Zelda fan.
I used to be a very, very, very big Zelda fan.
At a glance, does this do anything for you? As somebody that's kind of gone away from it, is this going to bring you back?
No. Nope.
Nope. That's okay. I was curious. I was curious if it was. I don't know what it would take to bring Kim back to Zelda.
Better controller.
Nothing that
Better
they're
control.
going
The
to
Switch
do.
Pro controller is great.
Well,
Maybe if I,
you know, there is
What?
this whole not to derail things here, but there is this whole real easy way to play it with whatever controller you want that Johnny is an expert on.
Yeah.
I played Tears of the Kingdom with this.
Is it that little thing that you plug into the dock?
Oh no, I just emulate it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I won't stream it like that though.
Yeah. Well, as you shouldn't, unless you actually own the
Unless
game.
you own the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
In which case, then it's totally fine. But
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever I'm running the emulated game, there's always going to be some troll that comes in and says, this is illegal, and I'll just hold the cartridge in my hand to be like, not illegal.
Yep.
You
own the
you
game.
always have it.
So I always have it by my side, just in case.
Yeah, the controller
the
is
reason-
not the best.
The reason why I busted this out, I've actually been working on Link's Awakening on my little Zelda Game & Watch.
Nice.
This has Link's
Such a
Awakening on
nerd.
it.
I have
This
that.
thing's-
I have it too. It's
This thing's fucking
just
awesome.
out of arm's reach.
I love it.
I have it too.
This thing's awesome. It has the original Zelda, and it has, I think, Zelda 2 and Link's Awakening, all in one little pocket guy. It's badass.
Next on the docket for us Metroid fans, and I'm a huge Metroid nerd. Albeit I'm not a Metroid Prime nerd. Johnny, Metroid Prime 4 is finally upon us. Take it away, sir.
Metroid Prime, I think is possibly in my top 3, definitely in my top 5. Like, the first Metroid Prime game is one of my favorite games ever made. I adore it up and down. I've beaten it beginning to end like 4 times, 5 times. It's one of those games that every like 3, 4, 5 years I go, I haven't sat down and beat Prime in a while, and I'll just fire it up and crank through it. The frustrating thing with this is that they announced this game at E3 in 2017. Said Metroid Prime 4. That's all they gave us. They gave us we're making it. We're making a Prime 4. And then 7 years later, we get a trailer. Here's my question, Mike, because I have a theory on this one. I think this is going to be a dual release game. I think that when they release the next Switch, they're going to release both copies of this game. I think this will be one of the launch titles.
I agree.
For the next Switch.
I agree. Because it's due out in a loose 2025 time period, so I
that seemed really vague to me, and it's just like I think they're gonna do like they did with what came before Breath of the Wild, where it came out for Wii U and then immediately came out for the Switch. I think they're gonna do the same thing for Prime 4. I think it's gonna come to the Switch, but I also think it's gonna come to whatever it's gonna be called. Hopefully, the Super Switch.
Well, dissecting just what they showed, which was, good on Nintendo, man. They always come out and go, here's gameplay, which is one thing that Xbox don't, that drives me wild, is they're always like, here's some beautiful trailer.
Here's a 4-minute cinematic. Don't you want to play the game? And you're like, I don't know what the game is.
But yeah, they just showed gameplay, and I agree with you, Johnny, because the gameplay looked better than what the Switch can do.
I had the same thought.
Yeah, it looked much better than what the Switch can do. Now, on my end of things, I'm excited because Zero Mission has come to the Virtual Console.
Fuck yeah, man.
Which, Zero Mission, for those unacquainted, is just the first Metroid game, but done in the Super Metroid style. It has some differences, but it's basically the core original game. So it's stuck on it's been stuck on Game Boy Advance. So there really hasn't been opportunities to play it on modern hardware until now. So, well, unless of course you are emulating the shit out of it. But for people that don't, now you can just fire up your Switch and play it. So that's super cool.
And it is definitely one of the best Game Boy Advance games ever. It's a very, very good one. I beat that one last year and I loved it. Loved every second of it.
Kim, I know that you're a massive Metroid fan and you don't miss a beat with any Metroid game.
I like the old Metroid a lot. The old Metroids, I like the original Metroids. When I tell you,
have you played Dread?
I didn't play Dread. I wanted to, and I didn't.
You would kick the shit out of that game, and it's
I would.
Brutal.
I know.
Kim,
I would kick the shit out of it. I know.
Kim, 2 years ago or whatever, when that game came out, we gave it the Power Gamer Podcast Game of the Year.
Yep.
That game is
Okay.
a 10 out of 10 perfect fucking game.
Okay.
Yeah, it was our number one.
I've wanted to, because I saw it and I was like, wow, this is like right up my alley for Metroid, because when I tell you, I could not stop playing the original Metroid games. Like, it was bad. I couldn't stop. The sounds, just the sounds, and just everything about Metroid. I did not want to stop. And so when Metroid Dread came out, I saw it and I was like, oh my God, like this is right up my alley. And then I don't know, it's just kind of like, there are just too many games.
There are.
Yeah, I know.
There are too many games. So, I mean, maybe one day.
It's funny you say that. My childhood with my NES was pretty similar. I had my friends, a lot of my friends would they'd play all the way through like Mario 3. They had it memorized, or Super Mario World, or any of those. For me, it was Metroid. Super Metroid, I could just sit down and just blast through the whole game in one sitting. I knew exactly where to go. I knew where the power-ups were. That's a game I've beaten, I don't know, 30 times probably.
Just so good. I really do need to look into getting Dread. I really do.
I can help you emulate it if you want. It runs at 60 frames beautifully on PC.
No, because I'd want to stream it.
And on the Switch it runs perfect.
It actually does. It runs very well on the Switch.
Yeah. Let's see. I think. Oh yeah, there was one more I wanted to touch on, and then Johnny, I'll chuck this over to you. These Dragon Quest remakes, which, man, did they need it? So, if you're at all into this whole series, or even if you're not, you might know for NES there was an RPG series called Dragon Warrior. Dragon Warrior is Dragon Quest. It was just the US branding of it. The first couple of games are pretty easy to get your hands on if you have an old NES. But then it quickly goes south, and they're some of the most expensive games to get for the original console, and they're all fantastic. But they are old. They're old 8-bit games.
Yeah.
I am so pleasantly surprised to see these HD 2D remakes. We're going to get Dragon Quest 3 first, and then that's followed up by Dragon Quest 1 and 2 together as a release, which makes sense because, I mean, they're also incredibly short by today's standard. 1 and 2 are, in particular. They don't take very much time to beat at all. But for a lot of people, this was the start of, what led into the obsession with the more traditional feeling Final Fantasy games. Final Fantasy had a release on the NES. It's okay. I've played through it. I've beat that game before, but Dragon Quest had it down better. And this was back in the day of Enix and Squaresoft being their own entities. Dragon Quest to this day is still a very traditional style RPG. It didn't adopt a lot of things like Final Fantasy did over the years. It stayed true to the old formula. That all being said, they're really tough to play because they're just hideous old games. Like, there's the nostalgia appreciation, but to somebody new coming to these, it's tough.
Yeah.
But they have just made them beautiful 16-bit looking HD 2D games, very in the vein of what we've been seeing from the Octopath Traveler series, from Triangle Strategy, and so on and so forth. And I mean, they are gorgeous. I cannot wait for these personally. So very excited about this. I know this is shown here at the Switch Showcase. They are coming to PlayStation as well, and that's definitely where I'll be checking these out. So
I'm loving this new trend, right? We got the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. Now we're getting the Dragon Quest remakes. I think for these old classic, NES, SNES era games, I think this is the way to go. You don't have to go AAA, big budget, Final Fantasy VII remake. Like, I mean, if they'd made a Final Fantasy VII game that looked like those Dragon Quest 2D HD 2Ds, I'd be pumped. Give me turn-based, give me, the sort of sprite style with the kind of I think it looks beautiful. I'm all in on this. I agree with you. I think it looks great.
Johnny and/or Kim, was there anything else from this showcase you wanted to call out before we dive into the games we've been playing this week?
Memories in Orbit looked really cute. That looked good.
Agreed. That was one of the ones that caught my attention. I love a good Metroidvania, and that looked like a kind of a different Metroidvania.
Admittedly, I wasn't too into the showcase, but that was the one that I was like, oh, I would get that.
Yeah. Mike, what were your thoughts on the Mario and Luigi trailer?
They're awesome. I'm for it, but I'm okay.
I mean, I got big Mario RPG vibes from that. Between the, hit the button at the right time to block, or hit the button at the right time to do this attack, and turn-based battles and everything. It gave me like Paper Mario or Super Mario RPG vibes, and those are like some of my favorite Mario games. So I was really pumped on that.
Yeah, for me, it could be. I'll wait and see with this. But
right,
I already got the cake with Mario RPG Remake this past year.
Right.
And kind of burnt out at the moment. So I'm like, meh.
Right.
I'm on to other things. It looks cool. But we've had a lot of Paper Mario lately. Like we just got the 1,000-Year Door remake. I still have that series as a blind spot, and I own all of them. So I'm like,
I've never played that one either. Yeah.
Like I own all the old ones. So Paper Mario on N64. Well, both Paper Marios on N64. The 2,000-Year Door on GameCube. I have that, an original copy. I've got the ones for Wii and Wii U, and I have the one for Switch, and I've not played any of them. So I'm like, great.
Every time you say Wii U, I want to go, oh, Wii
U. I love my Wii U.
I had to get it out because I was like holding it in so hard.
I love my Wii U. Breath of the Wild's so much better on Wii U. Like, just straight up. It's just better.
And then I guess the only other thing I wanted to shout out is that Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. We keep getting more and more of these like collections of games, which I just love that. I mean, like they figured it out with the Castlevania stuff. We keep getting these Castlevania collections and Contra collections, but for one price tag to get X-Men Children of the Atom, Marvel Superheroes, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom Clash of Superheroes, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and The Punisher for one tag. And you know where my brain went immediately? I'm like, oh, dude, Steam Summer Sale 2025. That bad boy is going to be $20, and I'm going to buy the shit out of it. That's a lot of great beat 'em ups and fighting games in that little package. So I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I've got so Capcom's been very good about doing collections, and I have all of the Street Fighter ones. And yeah, they went on crazy sale. I bought it, and then afterwards I was like, why the fuck did I buy this?
Just to have it, just like, we like to collect things.
I'm like, there's too much shit to play. That's one of the things with the showcase season that might be a point lost on a lot of people. Is it's really cool to see all these games, but it's also kind of like in part why I don't want to spend a ton of time on these showcases, is because like 90% of these games are going to flop just by the real estate available of people's attention.
Right.
There's no way anyone who has a normal life is going to be able to play even 75% of these games that have been shown. So it's like, I really can only make time for the ones that really count. I have them all, but I haven't played any of the Prime games for Metroid. I haven't played a single one.
Man, you're missing out.
Am I? Because I played other things instead of playing them. I'm like, I don't know that I missed out. I just played other things that, you might not have been able to play because you were playing that.
You don't miss out until the games disappear.
That's right.
Prime still holds up big time.
Yeah, and I even have the Prime remaster as well as the originals for GameCube. So it's like,
I have the trilogy for Wii and the remaster as well.
Yeah, it's like the intention is there, but Christ, there's just so much coming out, and that's kind of my point with these showcases. Is like, man, they showed a lot of cool stuff, but it's like you got to pick and choose what you have time for these days, and
yeah,
so Mario and Luigi Brothership, it looks cool. Am I going to play it? No, I don't have time for it. It's great, but I played Wonder. And it was wonderful, and there's just only so much bandwidth I can put towards these things. So, if you were someone where it's like, I have a Switch, I only play things on Switch. Okay, yeah, you might have time to get to this, unless you're trying to keep up with every hentai game they release on the Switch store. In which case, you're so busy gooning that you don't have time to do anything. Well, very good. If that wraps up everything we wanted to talk to you from the showcase, again, Nintendo, very well done.
Hell yeah,
it came out swinging right on the heels of Xbox, so it's been good. I have this sneaking suspicion. So Sony makes a very strong distinction between their state of plays and their showcases. Okay, and they always have a summer showcase. It's usually in September, where they finally reveal all of the release dates for the games they've been working on, and hit you with an atom bomb of some sort. So I think that's coming in September, and they like to do that to fuck their competition, because that's Sony's energy. Is they're dicks.
Yep.
And they don't mind it because they're at the top of the mountain, so to speak. So they're like, we're going to be dicks, and you're going to put out all your release dates because you have to, and we don't have to say anything to anyone, and we never do. And then once you put out your release dates, we're going to time our releases on top of your release dates to kill your products. So Sony will be coming with that energy, no doubt, after everyone else has already gone.
Yep.
Because they're not even going to was it Gamescom, the one in Germany? They're not showing up for that. Nintendo and Xbox are. Sony, no, they're not going.
I think we're gonna get a Wolverine trailer this year. I think that's gonna happen.
I would think so, given how much of it's been leaked already. But what I think is coming in September is a release date, a November release date for PS5 Pro. They're giving time to sell off the non-pros. And they're going to hold off on that as long as they can and announce PS5 Pro for the holiday season. And there's going to be some big game to go and tow with that to help move that console. So mark my words, that is going to happen in September.
I think you're probably right, yeah.
Kim, it's mostly been me and Johnny rapping here. So let's bring it over to you and get us started with the games that you've been playing this week.
Okay, so, Mike, you had so much good stuff to say about Animal Well, and Johnny was losing his shit over Animal Well.
Which means it's great.
Which means it's going to be great for me, right? You love it. Johnny's losing his shit. I'm going to be great at it, and I'm going to love it, right? That's kind of how it goes. So I briefly tried it, and after playing for only, I don't know, maybe like 20 minutes, I don't even know, I was like, oh, no, this has to be streamed. I love this game.
You're a little meatball.
Briefly, I love it. I love it. So I cannot wait to play that. So I played that a little bit. I covered a game called The Tribe Must Survive, published by Starbreeze. And it's one of those Civ management games, but you're like a tribe, and the art style is absolutely beautiful. It's very Don't Starve Together look, in terms of like the characters, their eyes are just white.
Yeah, very.
And they're all kind of frail looking, and it's, the art style was beautiful. In terms of gameplay, the tutorial was severely lacking. I was like, I don't even know what to do next. It was not fantastic. I was not thrilled with the tutorial, and the gameplay was very, very slow. So I'm hoping they do more to it, because the art style was beautiful, and I do love myself a good Civ management game. They kind of like engross me and I lose time in them. I covered another game called Into the Emberlands, and this game was absolutely adorable. Like, adorable. Basically, you're like, I don't know, you're in this like little village and you have to go out and explore the wilderness, but there's a miasma that your lantern keeps away, but every step you take takes away 1 tick of your lantern. And so as you're walking, you can find more embers to light your lantern. You find axes, which only get like 2, maybe 4 chops out of them. And so you have to like make your way and do all these little things to start building up the village. And it was honestly really freaking good. Like it was really cute looking. And at first I was like, this might be a little bit lame. Nope. I was like, oh, this is a game that I will play off stream and get completely and utterly just look at the time and be like, oh my God, it's been 3 hours. It's one of those games. It was so cute and so fun. I really liked it. Did you just look it up?
Yeah, as per usual,
Yeah, I'm watching it
whenever
right
Kim starts talking about the game she's been playing, you'll hear both me and Johnny's keywords go.
100%.
Because I play the most bizarre games.
You play so many games that I've never heard of. So every time you mention the name, I'm like, wow, what is that?
Yeah, but that's a big shout out to all the PR groups. Honestly, like all the PR groups that I'm part of, I get emails with like, check out this game, check out that game. Hey, Kim, do you want to check out this game? Hey, Kim, do you want to check out that game? So yeah, that's why I find all these like bizarre games. So one of the games that I tried, I didn't really know what to expect. Deep Silver gave me Morbid, The Lords of Ire, which is Morbid 2. God damn, did I fall in love with it. Like, I cannot wait. That's going to be added to my list of I need a Souls game to play. That was really, really good. I mean, really good. I was really loving it. And I had to stop because I was, I put Fallen Order on the schedule, which, by the way, very hard to go from one Souls game to another because the controls were totally different. And I hadn't played Fallen Order in like months. But yeah, Morbid, The Lords of Ire, if you like Souls games, definitely 100% take a peek at this game because it is really, really fucking good. Like, really good.
It's reviewed pretty well. I mean, and it's like strong AA energy.
Yeah.
Which is one of the best spots to be, honestly.
Yeah.
In this trailer, it keeps cutting to like SNES style graphics, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on there. It looks like most of the game is very Souls-like, but then there's parts where it looks like a Zelda game, and it's like pixely and.
I haven't seen that.
Huh.
I'm gonna have to take a peek, but
yeah, I'm just watching the trailer, and it keeps cutting to this other view of the character, and I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a talent tree or something. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Strange.
But yeah,
Looks
very,
cool,
very
though.
good. A very, very good game. And then I finally got back to months ago. I started Jedi Fallen Order, and after playing Crystalla, and then after trying Inotria and Flintlock, I was like, I have to play a Souls game. Like, I am itching to play a Souls game. And so I went back to Fallen Order, and I am officially kicking its ass. Like, I am having so much fun in this damn game, and it's been so fun to play. So I've been playing, and people come in and they're like, "Oh, what difficulty are you playing on?" Because everybody always asks. And I was like, "Oh, I'm playing on normal." And so we're all hanging out, and I beat the 9th sister. It took me 9 tries, but I beat the 9th sister. And then someone in chat goes, "This took me a couple days, but I was also on Jedi Master." And I was like, "Yeah, that's what I'm playing on. That's normal." And they go, "No, that's not normal mode." And I went, "Wait, what do you mean?" And they said, "Go look at your difficulty settings." So I looked, and I was like, I saw Jedi Master, and I went and I was like, Jedi Grandmaster. I'm like, okay. So I went back to Jedi Master, and then it was like Jedi Knight and story mode. And I went, oh, okay. I'm playing on hard mode. I had no idea. But I'm glad I did because it's making it feel more Souls-like. And if I were playing this in normal mode, I probably wouldn't enjoy it as much because I'll tell you what, I beat Gorgara today in 3 tries. And I think in normal mode, I probably would have beat it on the first try. Because I was amazed because everybody's like, oh my God, this fight is such a pain in the ass. Oh my God, this fight took me forever. And so we put up a prediction, like you could do predictions on Twitch. And I put up a prediction, will Mickey beat this? Will Mickey beat Gorgara in 5 deaths or less? And I did. I beat it in 3 tries. And I left off on Malicos. And I'm on my 5th death on Malicos. Malicos is fucking hard. I'm on my 5th death, but I had him down to less than half. And I was like, I'm going to beat this guy. Give me like, I'm not playing again till Monday, so I might have to warm up a little bit, but I'm going to say less than 10 deaths. I'm going to beat Malicos. I think I'm going to kick his ass because I'm getting him pretty low.
I struggled with Malicos a little bit as well. He's tough.
Yeah, people have told me that he's taken a couple days, but I think I'm gonna get him. I think if I didn't have the podcast tonight, I was gonna keep streaming, and by the time we started podcast, I promise you I would have beaten him. It would have been done over, and I would have moved on. But I'm loving it, and it's made me realize that I am very hard on myself because I always say like, oh, I'm entertaining, but I'm not good at games. But I'm coming to realize I'm actually pretty good at Souls games. So
I mean, of the 3 of us, you're the best of the 3 of us.
Thank you.
Johnny shines.
I really love it.
I think Johnny's got our card on first-person shooters.
I'm gonna go with that. Absolutely, 100%. 100%.
You have everyone's card on just about any other kind of skill-based.
I think it's because I love him so much, and I don't often get tilted, which is funny because first-person shooters are the ones that I can get a little bit tilted at. Not toxic or anything, but just like, I need to stop right now because I'm just doing so badly. Mm-hmm. But like platformers, oh man, I just love platformers. And like Ori, I just found them to be so relaxing and figuring out what to do. And then even if you have to do something over and over again. And I think with Souls-likes, I think the reason... A friend of mine nailed it because I said to him, I'm like, you stay so calm. And granted, I'm not calm. Like, I yell and holler. When I killed the 9th sister, I literally screamed, fuck your hand, because I cut her hand off, right? So, like, I love it, and I get very, very excited. And I asked my friend, I'm like, man, you stay so calm when you're getting your ass kicked. And he was like, because there's nothing to get mad at. It's not the mechanics of the game. It's me learning what I have to do to beat this thing. And I was like, that's it. Like, that's why I love the games I play, and that's why I don't get tilted, because I love trying to figure out the mechanics. I love, like, you know, Malicos is kicking my ass, and I was like, let me try my single saber, because I'm better with the single saber. That's how I beat the 9th sister and Gorgara. Oh no, I ended up going the double saber with Gorgara, but I tried single and I was like, nope, this is double saber job. And so for me, my brain just kind of like flicks into this mode of feeling really good, trying to figure out what I can do to beat this boss, you know? And I love it. And I'm really excited to try Lies of P because I've been so intimidated by it because everybody tells me like just how difficult it is. But I was like, no, I think I'm going to really love it.
Yeah, I think
I'm going to, because I love the aesthetics of it. Are right up my alley. So
it's a very pretty game.
Yeah.
You guys got me thinking.
But yeah, so
to myself,
Fallen Order, I'm kicking its ass. Makes me happy.
You got me thinking to myself, I'm like, what is my strong suit for games? I think it's strategy, probably, is where I'm strongest in games. Strategy and card are probably the ones where...
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Where I can shit on everyone. Because it's definitely not first-person shooters. Oh, yeah, fighting games.
Oh, yeah, see, fighting games, the only fighting game I was ever good at was Soul Calibur.
I do dunk on people
I'm not good at fighting
pretty
games.
hard in fighting games.
I fucking loved Soul Calibur. Who was your go-to?
My go-to was Cervantes.
Cervantes is great. My favorite was always Yoshimitsu. He's
Yoshimitsu was no fucking joke.
Yoshimitsu
was probably my second choice.
Yeah, he's an unpredictable son of a bitch.
Cervantes was my favorite. I just love Cervantes. Yeah.
I always loved Yoshimitsu's suicide move that would take 95% of his own health bar, but if you hit them with it, they would die.
Yoshimitsu was badass, yeah.
You want to piss somebody off, hit him with that one right in the beginning of the round.
Soul Calibur was fun. I haven't played it in ages, but yeah, I'm
Soul
not
Calibur.
fantastic at fighting games. I will admit that. But platformers, I'm coming to realize I'm very good at Souls-like games. So yeah, I am loving Fallen Order. I really need to get Survivor, but god damn, it's still so expensive on Steam. Oh my god. I looked on Instant Gaming, it's sold out.
I thought it was on Game Pass, is it not?
Is Survivor on Game Pass?
I think they just put it up.
I think it is. I could be wrong.
No, like I think they just did this month.
Got it.
Well then, I guess I know what I'll be flowing right into.
Hell yeah, absolutely.
Survivor still has the best sequence. And Johnny knows exactly what I'm talking about.
It's up there, yeah.
That I've ever seen in a video game. Like the most impressive sequence I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, technologically, you're just like, how the fuck did they even do this?
I think more just from a creativity standpoint, they just knocked it out of the park. It's really good.
So cool.
Awesome.
Fallen Order, yeah. So this week, what have I been playing? Great question, everyone. I've been playing some games, and I want to talk real quick about Death Stranding. I've really fallen off Death Stranding, even though like it's not because I don't like it.
It happened to me too.
It's just because I started playing some other things, and it's fine. It's fun. It's good, but it feels really long. I'm like, I can kind of just play this game for a day, like for a few hours, and then shelf it for a week. So I think that's kind of how I'm going to keep playing it, because it's fun. Weirdly enough, I still super recommend it for you, Cam. Weirdly enough, if I had to compare this to a game, I would compare it to American Truck Driving Simulator. Because it's that kind of energy.
Okay.
Like, this is the perfect game to put on a podcast to and play, or put on a book on tape, or like put on a good music album that you really want to listen to, or if you have, a Steam Deck or a PlayStation Portal or something like that, or Backbone, good to throw on your lap while you watch a TV show, because you're just out there fucking walking.
Just delivering shit.
You're just out there and you're walking. And there's like a few boss fights and things sprinkled in that are really good. It's a genius game. I love it. I think it's wonderful, but I'm also like, if I was to play nothing but that game for like a week, which is probably what it would take for me to clear it quickly, I don't know that I would like it as much. If I did that.
I thought we lost you again. I got scared.
Yeah, it's just slipping. It's fine. I don't think I would like it as much if I like binged this game. So I'm just gonna take my time with it and enjoy it. So I'll give you guys an update when I beat it, kind of thing.
I had a friend who played it for like literally 14 hours a day. He just streamed. He streamed for like 14 hours. And he just played this game and just vibed out to it. And we hung out and chat. And he just kind of did his thing. And he streamed it for days and days for like 14 hours a day, just cruising around.
Yeah, you could spend hundreds of hours on it if you wanted to. I've already decided
for sure.
All I want to do is beat the game. So like, I'm just going to focus on beating this game and not doing other stuff. Been playing Hellblade 2 Senua's Sacrifice. I think that's right. I touched on this game some last week. It's nice that I've had a week to think on it to better organize my thoughts. So here's the real problem. It's really not this game in particular, so much as it is the Xbox Series X. Is the game a bit of a step back from the first Hellblade? Only in some aspects. This game really pushes the needle in being a narrative, story-driven kind of game. and it also pushes the needle graphically. They made an unfortunate decision, in my opinion, to water down the combat. And it wasn't anything to really write home about in the first game, but having that watered down does kind of hurt the game immensely. Because more or less the combat is so trivial and stupid, you just can't wait for it to be over, so you can go back to walking and exploring. But the real problem I have with this game is playing it on an Xbox Series X. It fucking sucks on that system. It's so bad. Ninja Theory made a lot of intentional moves to make it feel cinematic. And I hate that because they letterboxed the game. Letterboxing, of course, is the black bars that go across the top and bottom of the screen. So they letterbox the game. And then on the Series X, the flagship hardware for Microsoft, it runs at 40 frames a second and it looks awful. So I totally get where people are coming from playing this game, and they're like, I think this game's crap, because they're probably playing it on a Series X, and it is crap on a Series X. I mean, you play the first game on a PS4, and it feels so much better to play. You're playing it on a Series X in 2024. You can barely see any of the fucking screen because of the stupid fucking letterbox. And then to make it worse, so you've letterboxed the game and you've locked the frame rate down at 40? What? Like, I could at least understand if you letterboxed it to get the frame rate up to 60.
Right.
But so it's this squished image and it runs like fuck. It's stupid. So I said I'm not playing it on the Series X anymore. Like, I tried. I keep giving it chances, guys. I keep giving that console a chance because I love playing on consoles. And every time I give that console a chance, it sucks. I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, how have they fucked this thing up so bad? They're like, the first party game that we like announced to launch this system is just gonna run like garbage. And like, I don't care what anybody says. This is my take. It's letterbox. It runs at 40 frames a second. It's 2024. Like, if the game can't run at 60 because they went so hard in the paint on making sure you could see every nose hair and fucking sinuous face, take out the goddamn nose hair. I don't care. I want it to run at 60 frames a second.
I like nose hair.
Totally agree, though.
So I've installed it on my PC. I'm going to mod the game to remove the stupid fucking letterbox, because I can't imagine playing on a PC monitor that's already much smaller than a TV and then having it letterboxed. Are you fucking shitting me? Like, come on. Please stop with that. So, I'm going to hold off any further judgment on this game until I've had a chance to play it at a decent frame rate without the letterboxes. Because I think when I remove those factors, then I'm going to like this game a lot more than I've been liking it so far. Moving right along. We got to talk about Unicorn Overlord, okay? I love strategy games. I love JRPGs. Love, 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 love. Triangle Strategy was a game that came out, I think, 2 years ago now, which is basically one of the best
Something like that
games I played in recent memory, besides Octopath Traveler 2. So both of those games are like really high tier, amazing games that, I'm like, you're just not going to get that very often. Insert Unicorn Overlord. I'm not ready to call that game better than triangle strategy, but it's at least on par and in a different category. This game for old PC players is very similar to Heroes of Might and Magic, if you remember that series, where it's a lot of overworld activity and interaction, and it breaks down into a combat screen that's more or less an autopilot kind of thing, that you can make choices of how your characters behave when they enter the battle. But it's all about putting together teams that make sense, preying on the strengths and weaknesses of like foot soldiers or archers or cavalry or dragon riders, etc., to win fights when you go into them. And you can deploy, I think I have a total of 12 squads that I've built out to all be different, to have different strengths and weaknesses. Like, the amount of strategy in this game is amazing. The characters are amazing. The voice acting is amazing. The art is perfect, just in every way, shape, and form. And it runs so well. I can't recommend this game strongly enough. I'm kind of surprised there's not been more buzz on it, especially with how well it's been reviewing. It's been reviewing incredibly well, this game. And it's absolutely amazing. I mean, this is I don't normally say stuff like this before I've finished the game, but this is one of the best games I've ever played in my life. It's
Wow.
fantastic. I just absolutely love this game. And that's what I've been doing with my time. Sorry, Death Stranding. Sorry, Senua. You're just not half as interesting as Unicorn Overlord is. I've run into a potential GOAT in this style of game. So that's what I've been playing, and strongly recommend, if you like strategy games, if you like RPGs, you're going to love this game. It's so much fun to play. You're absolutely going to love this game. If you like anything about anything from any of those genres, you're going to think this game's fantastic. So check out Unicorn Overlord. Yes, the name's stupid. Can't help that.
I like the name.
I think the name's stupid.
Stupid as fuck. That wraps up
Dumbass name.
what we've been playing this week.
Wait, did Johnny do his?
I didn't play
No.
anything.
Johnny didn't play anything. Sorry, everybody.
I wasn't gaming, apparently.
You know what? I skipped Johnny.
You totally
Yeah.
I'm
did.
actually really interested in what Johnny has to say, at least about one of these things.
Yeah, me too.
I'll start with Assassin's Creed 3. I'm at about 24 hours in. It's supposed to take on average 16 hours if you focus on just the main storyline. So I think I'm pretty close to beating this game. I'm actually really fucking enjoying this game. Assassin's Creed 3 is awesome. If you're looking for something to play and you see it like on your Game Pass or on your PlayStation Plus, or you notice it's on sale and you're just like, I don't know if I've ever played that, or I haven't played it in a while. I'm really enjoying it. I'm invested in the story. I think the combat is really, really fun. You know how in Assassin's Creed sometimes it, like you'll hit the counter just right and it'll bust, the camera angle will change and you'll do this awesome combo like triple kill that you've never done before. This game is fucking brutal in the combat. Like the way that you kill people in this game is way bloodier than what they do in like a lot of the later Assassin's Creed games. It's awesome. I'm really having a hell of a lot of fun with it. So, and my wife's invested too. So who knows? We might roll credits on that and move on to one of the other Assassin's Creed games that I've never played. Now that I've beaten Mirage and Valhalla, before that, the only other Assassin's Creed that I'd ever rolled credits on was the first one. So I'm kind of making it a mission to just, when I have time.
Wait, hold up. You haven't played 2?
I've played most of 2. I never rolled credits on it. I mean, I've played probably 40 hours, 30 hours of 2, but I've never beaten it. I know. I know that's the big one. I know.
If you don't have an intention of playing 2 before you really get in the weeds in 3, just watch the end sequence of 2.
Okay.
It
Okay. All right, I'll do
And
that.
when you finish 3, just immediately play 4. While
Okay.
everything about 3 is fresh in your brain, immediately play 4. Because 3 and
That's
4,
Black Flag,
3 and
right?
4 are joined at the hip.
Got it.
Which seems
Okay.
weird because one is, Revolutionary War period, and then it's pirates, but they are joined at the fucking hip, and you really need to play 4 immediately after completing 3.
Yeah, well, so what's really impressing me with Assassin's Creed is I'm realizing how ahead of the time this game was. Because Assassin's Creed 1 was a pretty short experience. The combat was pretty interesting. The stealth was cool. Sneaking through crowds and blending in with crowds and the sneaky and all that was really good, but it wasn't a very expansive game. That Assassin's Creed 1 feels kind of small. And then Assassin's Creed 2, they took that same gameplay, but they made it big, and there's multiple cities, and you're kind of going all over the place. Assassin's Creed 3, I didn't realize this was the game that introduced the naval combat. So I'm like on the battlefield pointing cannons at soldiers in one moment, and 10 minutes later I'm in a ship and we're getting in a naval fight, and then in the next I'm in the woods hunting animals. Like, this game is fucking all over the place. So and I know it's kind of commonplace with open world games nowadays, but back then that didn't really happen very often. So I'm kind of, the light bulb's going off of like how many sort of open world tropes that we take for granted in something like Horizon or like that.
Created
but like
it.
Right. Yep. And 3 just expanded even more with the ship combat and everything else. So yeah, I'm actually really enjoying this game a lot. What happened was I rolled credits on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and then my wife likes to sit and watch me play video games while she sits on her phone. That's just like our nightly thing. If there's not a movie or a show that we need to binge, that's what we do. We just sit and she watches me play a game. And I wanted to fire up The Last of Us, and she was like, I'm not in a mental place right now where I can really deal with The Last of Us, so let's do something else. And I was like, all right. And I just scrolled through the menu and fired up Assassin's Creed 3.
Do not let anyone talk to you at any length about 4.
Okay.
I'm telling you, if you're enjoying 3, it is imperative that you immediately go into 4.
I will do that. I will 100% do that. Awesome. Looking forward to it. Yeah, no, I think I'll probably beat 3 by next episode, because if it's supposed to take around 16 hours to beat and I'm past 20, I feel like I'm probably pretty.
Have fun.
Pretty close.
The end boss is Mel Gibson, so have fun.
Melly Gibson's. And then moving on to the game that Mike said was one of the greatest games ever.
Truly.
And Kim started to play. And this is the game called Animal Well. While we have this conversation, I'm going
just real quick. Not one of the greatest games ever, but one of the best games released this year. Big difference.
Okay. All right.
Unicorn
all right.
Overlord,
that's
to be fair, is one of the greatest games ever, and that was also released this year. But Animal Well is just one of the best games released this year.
Okay, so the night that I was the night before I beat it. So I have not gotten the true ending, but I did beat the final boss and the credits rolled. So I never have to touch this game again. I put in the Power Gamer Podcast Discord chat the day before I rolled credits on it, Mike, I think I might actually hate this game. I'm hate playing it right now. Like, I'm literally not enjoying it, but I'm going through it because I'm not going to let it defeat me, but it's fucking infuriating. I've Alt F4'd probably 15 times. I dislike the fact that the solution is always the most fucking annoying possible solution. It's like room after room of annoying shit. I mean, I'm figuring it out. I'm getting through it, but it's genuinely fucking annoying. I'm on the boss for the first ending, and I hate it. Literal hate. Yeah.
I have to tell you, I was in a Discord call with all of my friends when you posted that in our Discord. And I literally read it to them because I was laughing so fucking. I hate playing this. We could not, and everybody knew exactly what you meant because, like, I don't know. That's how I am with fucking SpongeBob, and I'm giving up on it. I was fucking hate playing it, right? So I get it, but man, fucking hysterical.
I decided the night before I rolled credits that I did not give a fuck about 65 eggs. I did not give a fuck about any other ending. I'm going to beat it, and then I'm probably never going to touch this game again. Now that I've like shit all over it, I'm going to put a little sheen on it here. The game is incredibly original. There's nothing like it. It's novel in the way that it doesn't hold your hand. You are forced to figure out with the limited tools that you have at your disposal how to click the buttons, open the doors, do the thing. Some parts of it I really enjoyed, but there were so many parts of it to me that felt like the developer of this game made it a point to make every single thing that I do fucking annoying. And it was just to the point where if getting to the room that I can't get through is annoying, and then the room that I can't get through is even more fucking annoying. So then every time I die, I have to do the annoying thing to get to the room to do the other thing that's already fucking pissing me off. Dude, this game, like, I think you should try it, especially if you have Game Pass and you like platformers. This is a very unique game that I think a lot of people are really, really going to enjoy for reasons that I can't even really kind of put a finger on. It did not do it for me. I rolled credits, said thank God, and I don't think I'll ever touch it again.
Good on you for finishing it, but I don't think this is a game I can really recommend to everyone.
Yeah, no, I don't think everyone.
The stats on this game, like if you look at the trophy data for it on PlayStation, this game turns people out so fast. You know, and that I love trophies because you can look and see, you know, exactly how many people made it to exactly what point in the game before they said fuck this. And it's like it's already bad getting to the first flame. Like nobody sticks around afterwards. You know, it's insane. Not to steal any of Animal Well's thunder, but so the platinum rate for that game I think was 2.4%, and I'm one of the people that has it.
Hey, let's go.
So
nice.
That's a pretty average trophy rate for the platinum on a game. Unicorn Overlord, 18% platinum.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So just to kind of put in perspective, I can recommend Unicorn Overlord to anyone, and the numbers back up that people play that game and they finish it because it's crack. But Animal Well,
yeah, I think I'm gonna.
No, it's
Man, I
love trolling Johnny with these games.
I really wanted to
that's
like it, Mike. I really did. I tried so hard to fall in love with this game, and it just kept kicking me in the balls.
I feel it. I can't disagree with you. I wanted to get the platinum on it just so I could say I have a platinum on one of the most obnoxiously difficult games to get the platinum on ever, and I did. But I had fun doing it because that game does scratch the itch that I like, the exploration and the collecting and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is. I am the person who it was designed for, but Johnny, you very much never were, nor did I ever think you would be.
Well, and
but I'm glad.
like,
I'm glad that you at least.
I know I said a lot of
the first credit roll.
And I know I said a lot of bad things about it, but there were a lot of rooms and a lot of puzzles that I enjoyed a lot and had a ton of fun with. But just overall, the annoying parts outweighed the rest.
I don't disagree with any of your criticism of it.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part of everything you said was because I said I'm gonna have to give it a go. I'm too curious not to at least try it, and you said I would definitely try it. I think it's a game meant for certain people, and I don't think I'm it.
And then the next comment I put in the chat said, and this is factual, 100% facts. If YouTube and the internet didn't exist, I wouldn't have made it through 2 hours of this game. That's a fact. The amount of times I went, I don't fucking care anymore. Show me. I just fuck this game.
See, that's the funny difference between me and Johnny, right? And why like I kind of work for a game like this, and why Johnny, you would never in a million years work for it, is because you don't like looking stuff up.
I don't.
And you
don't.
especially if you want to get the actual ending, you have to. There's no
Right.
fucking chance.
Yeah.
If you don't look something up, unless you're just gonna sink time into it, be one of the people that like crack some of the codes on this. I'm gonna give you both an example, and this doesn't really spoil anything that you're ever in danger of actually doing. Okay, so full disclosure, and this goes for the entire audience. Okay, you're in no danger of ever fucking figuring this out. So this is not a spoiler.
Okay.
There is more beyond getting the platinum in this game. There's so much more beyond it. There are more than 2 endings. There's like the actual like most complex ending that you can get in this game has a puzzle that rivals military codes. For real.
Yep.
That you have to figure out if you want it.
Oh, it's
And
exciting.
your end prize is a tape cassette player.
Don't tell me.
You will never figure this out. I promise you. In a million years, you would never figure this out. I don't know how somebody figured this out. I'm not going to tell you what the puzzle is in case you want to try, but the tape.
I'd like to try to.
The tape player has a message from the developer that says, "I don't know how the fuck you figured this out." Like that is the true ending. It's a fourth wall break where he congratulates you and says, "I don't know how the fuck you figured this out. I don't know how many years it's been since I released the game, but I imagine it's been several because of how complicated this secret is." And like somebody cracked it in like 2 weeks. And it's absolute insanity. And the other thing with it too is if you don't have even an inkling that it exists in the game, you'd have to play this game several times to even notice what the clues are to begin putting it together. Because there's certain things you can do to certain characters at certain times with certain amount of repetition that causes them to cuss at you in random characters that have no meaning. And you have to find all of the different instances of this and figure out how to put them together to create a fucking map. So highly recommend watching the video of the guy that figured this out and just watch, because you'll never do it. You'll never do it in a million years.
Intentionally obtuse as fuck.
Yes, it's this is puzzle porn is what this game is. And it's very mild to get you through, like to the point of the platinum trophy. In my opinion, it's pretty mild. But it goes off the fucking rails if you want it to. And there's still secrets in the game, even beyond this one, that has the recording from the developer in it, which you guys should totally check out. Beyond that people still haven't figured out. So like it's puzzle porn. Animal Well. All right, Johnny, I feel bad. I skipped you before you even knew I skipped you on that because I like to go last in what we've been playing. So
I figured you were switching up a little bit.
I skipped Johnny completely. Yeah.
It's okay. I didn't
I
take
got
it
you,
personally.
Johnny.
It's
I
all
got you.
good.
Don't worry about it.
I know
Got
you
you.
did.
So,
You have
Johnny,
my
we're
back.
going to
I
come to
appreciate
you
you.
first
Always.
here for our one-up this week because I skipped you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, Kim, what's your one-up this week?
So I would like to put all of our listeners into the Wayback Machine and remember from the previous episode where I was talking about the Dragon Age Veilguard trailer and being excited about it, and Mike said, I think, yeah, it happened. And Mike was very underwhelmed by what he saw from the Veilguard. And I said, well, let's wait. We got to see the gameplay video. Well, boy, did we see the gameplay video. This game looks fucking gorgeous. The combat looks fun. I love what they've done with the universe. I don't know if I'm completely on board with the total combat rewrite they've done here. It doesn't look like it plays like any of the other Dragon Age games. But give me fantasy action RPG and you're probably going to get my money. And I thought it looked awesome. I'm really excited for this game.
I've had some time to digest it, and it's been a great ride, BioWare. But you're getting closed after this, or you might get a chance to release the next Mass Effect game as your final hurrah. This looks like hot garbage.
Wow.
It's
take.
not. It's
I
not a
thought
hot
it was
take.
great.
That is not a hot take. The thing that infuriates me with BioWare, okay, and this is BioWare post Dragon Age Inquisition, right?
Yeah.
Is they have a very clear template of what people liked. You know, people didn't like Dragon Age 2. They liked Dragon Age Origins a lot. And so then they came back to Inquisition and they're like, oh, okay, let's go back to doing that, but let's just do it better. And then they won a Game of the Year. That was, 2014? Which was not a great year for games, but still. And since then, they have just released things that are unacceptable. I mean, even though Andromeda, after being doctored, I found to be very acceptable when it came out, it was not.
Right.
Anthem, obviously, Jesus Christ,
dead on arrival.
So, you're a studio on the ropes, and somewhere someone in their department didn't go, okay, I think we've learned our lesson, guys. We should stick to doing the thing that we know people like. We're gonna get shut down. Maybe we should just do what we like. No, instead some goofus there's like, no, let's make it look like Fortnite and let's do a fucking Overwatch trailer to introduce this game to the world, and let's change the name to Veilguard, and let's make the combat, look generic as fuck. Let's make it look like a button masher. I'm very cold on this. It's like, guys.
No, I couldn't tell.
Guys, you were loved for Baldur's Gate. You gave us a sniff of that in a different format with Dragon Age Origins. You got steered away from it with Dragon Age 2. You learned your lesson. You came back with Inquisition. You released the Mass Effect trilogy, which was wonderful. You went away from it with Andromeda, and you got your ass absolutely destroyed in the court of public opinion. And then you followed it up with Anthem, and we've been sitting around waiting, and this is it. It's been a great run, BioWare, but you're either going to get closed or you're going to get a chance to maybe try and get magic in the bottle again with Mass Effect. I kind of hope that if this is who BioWare is, they don't make another Mass Effect game. If this is where they're at, if this is what they think is okay, maybe it's time just to go away. I mean, the old team's not there anymore. It's an EA studio with random fucking people, and it's called BioWare. What the the actual BioWare people are making a game right now. I forget the name of it, but that looks good. So I'm excited for that. I'm not excited for this in any way, shape, or form.
I just want a Jade Empire sequel. Damn,
You'll never get it.
I know. I'm aware. I just want
I'd
one.
rather
Jade
I'd
Empire
rather
was the shit.
like Knights of the Old Republic. It's like great. We made this first one. It's awesome. Then 2 came out. That wasn't BioWare, but it's like, why did we stop that?
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm glad you're excited for it. I mean, this should be both sides of the coin. I mean, there are some people out there that saw this and said, okay, this is cool. I think, to your point, Johnny, looking at that gameplay in contrast to the trailer, in that context, it looks good because that trailer was fucking terrible. But I didn't look at that game and say that's something I want to play. It's not.
I did. I mean, I'm also I'm emotionally invested in the universe. So I saw Solus doing his thing, and I'm like, fuck, what's going on?
I want the Archdemon to like. I wanted a trailer that was like super dark. The Archdemon to show up and just like bite Solus in fucking half and be like, "Yeah, that's right. I killed him in a fucking trailer. Shit is going down. Here's some Darkspawn. You're fucked." Like that's the energy the Dragon Age is supposed to have, but I digress. Kim, let's jump over to you. What's your one for this week?
I bought a game that you really like, and I'm very excited to play it. I bought Blasphemous.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I bought Blasphemous. I found it on Instagaming for $4. And so I bought it. And I was like, I gotta tell Mike I bought this game. What encouraged me to buy it was because I know how much you love it, right? And so you and I tend to, if you love a game, it makes me want to test it out. What makes me want to test it out even more is if somebody else I know rages at it. Because I know this person, when they rage at a game, I'm probably gonna like it. And so put those two together and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna like this game. So I ended up buying it.
Combine old school Metroid and Dark Souls. That is this game.
Yeah.
It is so perfect in every way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited for it. So I got that and I'm excited. And I figured you'd be happy to know.
For you to stream that. Because you're going to get, like when I streamed Blasphemous, because I played it when I was still streaming, the amount of armchair experts that are going to come in is going to be amazing. And so many people are going to come in like, I can't believe you're doing XYZ. And like, if they stick around and watch you for like 30 minutes, be like, oh, she just 2-shot that boss. Oh, she just 1-shot.
Or maybe if people like that come in, I should be like, if they say something about Souls-like or whatever, if they say something technical, I should be like, what kind of game is that? I don't know what that is. I really want to set them off because that's so fun for me.
Yeah, you're going to love first and foremost, you're going to love the art, but the actual boss fights in this game are so brilliant. They're so brilliant. And the icing on the cake is the final. Excited. I mean, it peaks at the end and it's just perfect in every way. So you're going to love the game. And it doesn't take that long to beat. Okay. Honestly. So, I mean, for you,
yeah, I'm excited for
engaging with an audience and stuff, probably like 20 hours. You get through it. If you were just sitting down playing it on your own time, I think you'd clear it in like 10, 11 hours. Something like that. Oh, man, my one up this week.
How much you hate Veilguard.
I'm full of hate, aren't I?
I think we already touched on that.
Full of hate. It's Hater's Ball.
What is it?
Over here.
Hater's Ball.
No, I don't have any more hate to distribute this week. I've shit on the Xbox console yet again. I've shit on Veilguard. I think I'm all done shitting on things. Instead, I want to highlight something. I'm very, very interested in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And I very much
want to
play the first game.
I just got the first game.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can buy the first game right now. If you don't already have it, if you haven't landed it for free somewhere and you're like, man, I want this game. $2.99 gets you the game right now.
Hey, let's go.
So, yeah, I'm just excited for Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. And I'm gonna grab the game for $2.99. Like that almost feels too cheap for a game. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like, man, you're giving away for $3. That has to suck. Like, why would you only take $3 for your game? But you know what? I don't care. $3. That's what you want. It looks cool. Looks tough. So I'm interested to play it. I don't know that that's going to be a game that I'm like, I'm going to play all of this game. I'm going to do it all.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I would play $3 worth to get an idea before the next one comes out. So, yeah, that's my one up this week. You can buy Kingdom Come Deliverance for $2.99.
It's pretty
Good
hard
price.
to beat.
That wraps up this week's episode of your Power Gamer podcast. We will, of course, be back again next week with another great episode for you to enjoy. Until that time, I'm Mike Dawson.
I'm Johnny Paulus.
I'm Kim, too tired to come up with something witty for my middle name, Planicello.
Hey!
Hey!
Tune in next time. Take care.
Catch y'all flip flop.